Now, let's address this. It is very important. And this is what is killing Tanzanians. There is one thing that is killing Tanzanians, only one thing, and we have to talk about it. In Tanzania, the president, the constitution is written, They don't have a constitution that governs them or a constitution that protects them or that defends them. So in Tanzania, there is a constitution, and what is written in the constitution is written by the pencil. It is written in pencil, not in a felt pen or something. It is written in pencil, not in a biro pen. And the president has the rubber, So everything that is written in the constitution, written in a pencil, and the president has the rubber right in her hands. So she can decide to wake up one morning and rub one article and replace it with another article. She can wake up one morning and rub 5 articles and replace them with another 5 articles without even taking it through the parliament, without anything. The president makes decisions. So the member of parliaments in Tanzania do not represent the people. Now, let's take for example, in Kenya, we have the member of county assemblies. We have the governor. That one makes a county government. A county government, the people who represents the members of the public to the county government are the members of the county assembly. So the members of the county assembly, they have the rights to impeach the president. They have the rights, they have the rights to impeach the governor. They have the rights to call the governor, sit the governor down, talk to the governor, and tell the governor what you're doing here and here is not right, and therefore you need to make a change. Okay? And then we have the member of parliaments. So the member of parliaments, these now have the power and they represent the people on the National Assembly, on the national government. So we have the county government where the member of county assemblies represent the people on the county government. Then we have the national government where the member of county assemblies, which are the MPs, represents they represent the people on the national government. Now, in Kenya, I'm using Kenya as an example because I understand the constitution of Kenya and how it is made and how it works. Okay? Now, for example, if the president wants to come with any bill or maybe a finance bill, the budget, and any other law or any other thing he wants to make it a law, what he does, if it's the county government, they have to take the bill to the county assembly where the MCAs, the member of the county assemblies, will discuss over this bill. If majority of the members pass it, it becomes a law. If minority of the members pass it, it goes down. Now, in the National Assembly, where now the president is the head, because in the county government, the governor is the president of the county government. The president is the president of the national government. So whenever the president comes with a budget or a finance bill or any other thing, any other bill, he wants to make it a law, what he does, he takes this bill to the parliament. After taking this bill to the parliament, now the member of parliament, they have to discuss over this law or over this bill that has been brought to them, because before it becomes a law, before any bill becomes a law in Kenya, it must be discussed. It must be discussed by the people. People have to agree that this one should be a law before it becomes a law. And because everybody, all the people will not be sat down and discuss over a single bill, it will take a lot of time. That's why you have the representatives. These representatives are the member of parliament. They represent the people on the national government and on the National Assembly. So when a bill is brought to the parliament, it is like a bill has been brought back to the people for the people to discuss it. And then if people say yes to it, it becomes a law. So the member of parliaments, they are given a bill. They discuss over this bill. If the majority of the member of parliament says yes to the bill becomes a law. If the minority says yes to the bill is turned down. And therefore, the president in Kenya, the constitution does not give the president in Kenya power, authority, or mandate to decide anything into a law, or to make anything, any bill, turn it into a law without passing it to the parliament. It must go through the parliament. It must be examined through the parliament before this bill becomes a law. And that is why it is very difficult for anything to be abolished or anything to be created or to be brought into action in Kenya without the public participation. There must be a public participation in Kenya where people are asked to say their views over something. When the constitution wanted to be changed in Kenya, people were engaged. And when people were engaged, a lot of people were into a new constitution, the constitution that is protecting Kenyans today. That is why you will see Kenyans going on the road, demonstrating. Although sometimes the government will try to push them until some other people die. But Kenyans, you will see them demonstrating, and they will go to the parliaments, because the constitution in Kenya suggests that the parliament are houses to the people. People have power to the parliaments. Parliaments is the house of the people. All the parliament houses are houses to the people. That is why these parliaments, the people who sit in parliaments are the representatives of the people. People's representatives, which are the member of parliaments and the senates, because also senators are member of parliaments. Okay? That is why sometimes you have senators who are oversighting over the county government. They are oversighting over the governors, and over the how they are doing work, how they are managing funds and all that. So it is difficult in Kenya for a president or any other person or a governor in the county assembly to come up with a law, with a bill, and make it a law without going through either the county assembly or going through the national assembly for the governor and for the president respectively. And that one gives the people of Kenya strength in that they know if they say no to something, it is a no, and the government should not try to pass it by force. If Kenyans today, they wake up and say that we want to have something, the government needs to do that because the constitution grants them the opportunity and the power for them to be able to correct the government, and the government needs to listen according to Kenyan constitution. So a law cannot be made. In Kenya, according to the Kenyan constitution, the president is the less powerful person and the people are the most powerful people. In that, the people can decide to impeach the president anytime, any day. They can wake up today and say, we are tired with your leadership and therefore we want you to go home. And they can launch, they collect signatures, and when signatures reach a certain amount of a certain number, they can be able to impeach the president through the National Assembly. They can be able to impeach the deputy president through the National Assembly. The vice president of Kenya was impeached through the National Assembly and through the Senate for the allegations that he was tribalist and all that. I don't want to talk about that, but he was impeached by the member of county assemblies and by the member of the Senate, and also the president can also get impeached if a bill is tabled and a lot of the member of parliament say that the president did a mistake. He can be impeached. Now, what is the difference between the constitution of Kenya and the constitution of Tanzania? In Tanzania, unlike Kenya, where the president should be the less powerful person, in Tanzania, the president is the most powerful person. If the president wakes up one morning and say, everybody should be walking naked from today, it is a law. There should be a mass of discussion. There should be no taking the bill to the parliament for discussion. If the president says every person from tomorrow morning should be walking naked or walking wearing their trousers on their heads, That is how it will be. And it is written in the constitution immediately. The president can wake up one morning and say, I close or I burn down all the political parties and I declare only one political party in this country, and that is how it will be. The president can wake up one morning and say, the term limits of a president will be 40 years, and that is how it will be, because the president in Tanzania got more power compared to the people. The president can wake up one morning and abolish, like rub, a law and replace with another law. And that is what will be. So in Tanzania, the president has the constitution. The constitution in Tanzania is written in pencils, and the president has the rubber. She can rub an article in a constitution or a law in a constitution and replace it with another law, and nobody has to say anything or nobody has to interfere with that. And that is what has really destroyed Tanzanians. Now, Tanzanians have been known to be peaceful people. Why? Because the legacy of Julius Nyerere. Nyerere was once, and he was such a very amazing president. Nyerere loved the people of Tanzania. And the people of Tanzania felt safe under Nyerere for a very long time. Now, what happened to the people of Tanzania? Julius Nyerere gave them a soft life, a good life, a peaceful life. He was a person who listened to the people, who did everything the people wanted him to do. To an extent, Tanzanians never knew chaos. Tanzanians never knew war. Tanzanians only knew peace. And Tanzanians sat at a position, at a point where only peace was what they knew. They didn't know anything else rather than peace. Julius Nyerere made them to feel like fighting is something that doesn't exist. Political differences is something that doesn't exist. And therefore, even after Nyerere and after the coming of other leaders, Tanzanians used to know we are still living under peace, because the system that Nyerere left them in is a system of peace, a system of love, a system of caring for one another, a system of calmness. And that is how they have been living for a very long time. Tanzanians were being manipulated, but they did not know they were being manipulated after Nyerere's leadership. The following leaders who came, they started manipulating Tanzanians because they knew Tanzanians are calm people. Tanzanians cannot talk back. Tanzanians cannot fight back, and that is how Tanzanians have been manipulated for years. The wealth of Tanzania has been sold out. The resources of Tanzania has been sold out. The minerals of Tanzania, they have been sold out. Everything they mine have been sold out. The public funds have been stolen. The leaders have been grabbing lands in Tanzania. Corruption has been going on in Tanzania. But Tanzanians have not been talking. They have not been saying anything, because while all these things were happening, Tanzanians did not know they were being manipulated. They didn't know they were being deceived. They didn't know they were being oppressed. It was an invisible oppression. It was an invisible colonization. And Tanzanians had been colonized by their own people who look like them, by their own black people. So the West used the leaders who were there to colonize Tanzania. But Tanzanians didn't know they were being colonized for a very long time, for years. Recently, Kenya had a demonstrations. And Tanzanians were asking themselves, who are Kenyans? Are Kenyans people from this earth? Because tell me why Kenyans will demonstrate until they get to the parliament, and they were even burning the parliament down. Tell me why that would happen. Tanzanians were feeling like this is insane. But then Tanzanians sat down and then they asked themselves, are we really living better? Because Kenyans were demanding for accountability. Kenyans were only asking the government to turn down the finance bill and the budget that really oppressed them. Then they looked at their budget and they were like, why is it that Kenyans are demonstrating over something that looks better than even what we are having in Tanzania? Theirs looks somehow better. What we are using in Tanzania is even more worse than what Kenyans are demonstrating about, but we are just okay. We are just peaceful. We are not even demonstrating. We are not even complaining. Does it mean we are that behind? Then Tanzanians started looking at how they have been living, at how their governments have been treating them. You know, it is like being lied to and being made to believe you're living better, yet you're not living better. Being manipulated, that is now what we call manipulation. You are manipulated to think you are living better. You are living okay. You are staying safe, yet you're not staying safe. People are taking advantage of your peace, your calmness. People are taking advantage of you not causing chaos. And by them taking that advantage of you, they made you to believe. They have created a system where you believe you're living better, yet you're not living better. And Tanzanians look at everything that was happening. Tanzanians looked at their constitution. They were asking themselves, why are Kenyans demonstrating that way? And the government is not being that harsh on them. They looked at their constitution. They compared the Kenyan constitution, and then they realized, oh, we are very much behind. That is when they knew they have been manipulated for years. They've been taken advantage of for years, and they felt like, no, we need to make a change. And that is where now the problem began from. Tanzanians would have fought for a new constitution from the word go. Tanzanians would have fought for the amendments of the constitution from the word go. But Tanzanians are fighting the government, yet the government has power over the people. People not to have power over the government. The government has power over the people. The government can wake up tomorrow and say, everybody who tries to stand against my government to be shot down. And that is what will be. That's what will happen. And therefore, they tried to do this at a very wrong time. They didn't do a good timing. They didn't come out at the right time. They came out at the wrong time. And after coming out at the wrong time, the government was doing anything it wanted to do to them. The government was ready to do away with them carelessly. The government was ready to collect down on the ground as many bodies as possible. The government was ready to destroy people anyhow. And the government was not fearing anything. Why? Because the government knew, I have power over the people. There is anybody can tell me. I can decide what I want in this constitution. I can rub even the article that says protect human beings or human rights and put there, kill human beings. And that is what has been happening in Tanzania. And that is why you find out that Tanzanians have been killed. Tanzanians are being buried on the mass graves. Tanzanians are being charged with treasons over the mistake that does not even requires anybody to be charged with treason. But nobody can talk about it in Tanzania. Only outside countries and all that, those are the countries that are talking. In Tanzania, the president has the guts and the power to arrest the opposition leader and jail them and stand on the ballot, contest all by herself. In Kenya, you cannot arrest an opposition leader because immediately you do that, the country burns down. Why? Because the constitution allows many parties. The constitution allows many people to contest. You can't arrest an opposition leader in Kenya. If you try, the country burns down. Because we have a strong constitution, a constitution that protects the people. And that is the problem, the biggest problem that is in Tanzania. And if Tanzanians want to be free, if Tanzanians want to be safe, the only thing they need to do is to really amend the constitution. And they should be fighting to amend the constitution. They should be fighting for a new constitution, a constitution that will protect them, number one, that will give back power to the people. You know, a long time ago in Kenya, constitution had given power to the president. The constitution that Tanzanians are using today is a constitution that Kenyan used a long time ago, in the years of 1990s. But now we have a constitution that brought back power to the people. Tanzanians need a constitution that will bring back power to the people. Right now, people in Tanzania do not have power. And that is why they don't have the say over the government. They can't say anything over the government. That is the main problem in Tanzania. It's not about politics. It's not about political differences. It's not about anything else. It is about the constitution. And Tanzanians, the only thing they need to fight for is for a new constitution. That is the only thing, the only weapon that can save them. Even if it won't save them fully, but at least it will save them. That is where they can find reforms. That is where they can find peace. That is where they can find justice. But right now, the president has power. The president can say anything he wants to say, and the people have to follow it. Yeah. That's my opinion. Tell me what you think on the comment section. I will do my best to make sure I read all the comments and give a response where possible. I am Atamba Heti from the African Streamline, and this is African Streamline's Roundtable. Thanks for coming. Until next episode, peace be with you.